Hello, everybody. Hi, Alison. How are you? Hope you had a lovely evening yesterday. It's nice to have you back with us. Yes, first question. Can you actually hear me? And yes, I can read comments today. Thank you. Everything seems to be working fine today. I don't know if it's because it's Friday or because the sun is out, but for some reason it's working fine. So thank you very much. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join us. Oh, did you? Oh, that's nice. It's really great. Honestly, having to see the fabric with your eyes and touch it with your hands, it's so different from looking at it online. And that's why I just love my little, fabric shop. I can come in here whenever I like and just stroke the fabric just for the fun of it. I hope you got some really nice things. Ooh, dinosaurs. Nice one. I'd love to see them when you're done anyway. Just send them to me, not to the Mrs. H one if they're not Mrs. H patterns. Just send, show me the things you've done. I'll really, really love to see them. I know, dinosaurs are so cute. Really lovely, lovely stuff. So, welcome back. I can see comments today. I can see everybody. And I can read comments on both devices, which is great. And everybody can hear me well. So fingers crossed, everything should go well today. And thank you all. We are at the final steps, and it shouldn't take long for us to actually finish, the bits that we need to do. So at this stage, if you have all been following me, if you have all been doing what you should all have been doing, you should have three pieces. So you should have the lining piece all done. You should have the outer piece sewn, and you should have the strap joined together, the strap and the strap tab joined. And those three pieces we're going to put together to finish off what we need to do. But just before we do that, just a quick one. I mentioned yesterday that Leo won um, the giveaway contest for the African wax. And I just want to show you his selection. I was cutting them out today and I thought to myself, these are so lovely. They are really, really, really beautiful. He's made a lovely selection. So we've got that one. Then we've got this one, which is sort of like a Ghanaian African wax fabric. We've got this, which is sort of like pink and blue. Really lovely, delicious. Then red and brown. And this is sort of like an orangey and navy blue. This is one of my favorites, and unfortunately, that's the last bit. So he's got that. He's got a good eye, honestly, and that as well. And this other one as well. It's brown and black with yellow beads, but it is beautiful. When you see the fabric and you touch the fabric, you'll know what I mean. Then this one, which is sort of like blue and brown. And then this with blues. You'll see that I love blues a lot. Well, and I try to sort of get varying sort of fabric, and I do have a few very, varied ones. But that's what's going off to Leo in Florida. And next time we have a competition, I do hope that lots more people would enter and we'll be able to sort of get more people on board, and people would win really nice, delicious gifts as well. So that's done. Hello, Moira. Hi, Belle. Ooh, oh, I am dying today. I think Lizzie has me on her TV, so I must be looking really massive. I actually have to get a massive TV and put it somewhere here so I can see myself on the screen as well. I'll work on that. Trust me. So like I said, we're just at the last bits of what we need to do, and we're just going to finish up the last bits and pieces. And like I said, if you were not here with us when we started, we should only have three pieces: the outer, the lining, and the strap, which you've already attached to the strap connector. So we'll take it from there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be working with the outer fabric. So grab your outer fabric if you haven't already done so. Hi, Leo. How are you? And we need to turn it right side out so we can attach the straps to it. Just a second. I think somebody's trying to get me on the other account. Oh my goodness. Lizzie just sent me a picture of me on her big screen. Wow. Now I'm jealous. I have to go get a big screen. So as I was saying, everybody turn your back to the right side, because now we're going to attach the straps to it. And it says in the pattern, if you intend to carry your bag left shoulder, right hip, make sure that the strap connector is on the left hand side of the bag. So but I'm assuming if this is the bag, this is the left hand side. Yeah, well, that would be the left hand side. So we attach the strap connectors too. So make sure you one side of the bag does have a seam. The other side does not technically have a seam, but you can sort of preset based on the first seam on the seam on the on one side, and sort of get a seam on the other one. So we're going to work based on that. So with the strap connector facing downwards, so the bulk of it facing downwards, we want to make sure that we attach it to the bag there, and we'll make sure that it's nicely centralized on the bag, and we're going to baste it on. So we're going to sew with 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Hi, Jean Roberts. How are you? Hi, Verna. How are you? Nice to have you all back. We're now on the home straight, so it should be done before anybody can blink. So anybody who's late, by the time you join us, it's like we're already done. So all I'm just going to do is base that down, use a nice long stitch length, and make sure my pin is not in the way. Nicely centered, 3/8 of an inch. And then we flick that to the other side. And like I said, if we've already creased the other side as well, we just try and find the center of it. Pin that down again. So make sure that the strap is nicely centered on it. I eyeball every single thing. Don't ask me why. As much as I quilt, and my quilts have to be perfect, more or less, when I make any other thing, I just sort of eyeball the whole thing, as in, yeah, that looks good. And there. So 3/8 of an inch on this side as well. Okay, my machine is playing up, and let's see what your problem is. Okay, that. Just changing the bobbin to see if it's going to make any difference, but that one was running low anyway. Oh, and I can see what the problem is. So, okay, so we have the strap attached, and okay, that side did not actually sew properly. Like I said, the bobbin was playing up. Let's see if it works okay this time. Second time lucky. Still not playing ball. Two seconds. I spoke too soon when I said we were going to finish quickly. That's why. think I need to bring its sister out and use that one for some time while I send this off to be sort of sorted out. Because I think it's getting very, very unhappy with me. I'll give it a nice clean once we're done. But right now, I need it back on. Oh, wrong way. So that's a masterclass in machine cleaning. Let's see if it works this time. Oh, still not playing ball. Really sorry about this. This hardly ever happens to me, but every single day has its own problems, and today it's decided to be the machine itself. Okay, that worked. Okay. Hi, Jane. Thank you. Love having you here as well. No, Lizzie, it wouldn't be a live sewing show if everything went okay. Yes. Okay, so that bit has sorted itself out now. And the next thing is, which I always tend to forget to do, is we need to make sure that the zipper is fully open. So remember, the zipper is on the lining, so we need to open that fully. Yesterday, when we came back at the very, very start of the lesson, I told you that we made a mistake on Tuesday. That was day 2. We sewed everything shut. And then we had to sort of unpick first thing yesterday. So it's still unpicked, as you can see. But this time, please make sure your zipper is opened, and it's opened all the way. That's where we're going to be turning the bag from. So then turn the bag out here, wrong sides out. So we need to turn this back, the wrong side out. And like Lizzie said, please, if you finished before me, that's great. Please share the pictures and every single thing, because we would really love to see them. And when you do that, stick the straps into the bag, and then the lining will be right side out, which is like the opposite of what we normally do when we're making bags. And then place the bag lining inside the bag outer. Now, where does the pocket face? If I do it this way, then the pocket is to the back. So if the pocket is facing, oh, actually, it doesn't make any difference now, because they're asymmetrical. You just have to place them just what it goes in one way, as we're going to be sewing all the way around there. So oh, Barbara, at the edge of the bag, so turn your bag right side out. First things first. And then on the side of the bag, there's a seam on one side of your bag. And on the other side, there isn't really a seam, but you can sort of crease it, because once you've creased one side, the other side is going to sort of automatically crease. So like if you crease it like that, and then the strap is placed centralized on the crease on one side and on the seam on the other side. So we just want to make sure that the strap is centralized with the one edge. Well, it needs to be facing downward. So when we place the strap, it needs to be facing, the main bulk of the strap should be facing downward. So it looks like that. So that's the strap, and it faces downwards. Yep. Yep. Like that. So it's attached to the side of the bag on both sides. And it's just basted on. It's not a full sew, because we're still going to sew around the whole bag. So we just need to make sure that it's in place, and the best way to do that is just to sew it. So we're just sewing it to the edges there and there. Does it make any sense, Barbara? It's a bit tricky on the crease because it doesn't have the seam line. It doesn't have a line, but you can just sort of gauge where it's meant to be. And as long as it's at the edge and it matches up with the edge of the bag right there. So try and centralize it and make sure that it looks nice and even with the other side. Okay, I'm trying to read the comments on both sides. Okay, that one isn't moving. So Barbara, is it okay now? Can we move on, or do you still have questions about the straps? Looks like the crease. Your bag should have this shape, and the strap should be on the sides, both sides of the bag there. If you want to see me after this, I will talk you through and we'll just try and figure out what the problem is. But yeah, the strap should be at the sides of the bag. One of them on centered on the seam, which is on the left hand side, and the other one you just try and figure out where the edge center is and stitch that down as well on the other side. And then because the it's just centralizing, as in the crease side. I know it's a bit slightly more difficult, but it's just place, or you could match it sort of to the crease at the bottom of your bag, as into the bottom seam. If you place it straight down like that, the seam, the bottom seam should be centralized anyway. So if you place that right in the center at the bottom and you make sure that it's all straight all the way up, then you should technically be able to get where it actually stays on the side of the bag. So we turn wrong side out for that. We stick the straps inside. The lining should be right side out, and we stick the lining into the bag. So technically the right sides of both the lining and the main bag, the right sides should be facing each other like that. So you have right side to right side. And then we begin to match all the edges. So all we're doing is we're just making sure that all the edges are nicely matched up. And please remember to make sure that your pocket is open. The zipper pocket is open. And just go all the way around, nicely pinning or clipping in place as you go. Okay, now I've pinned that down. Well, clipped it all down. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around, up the front and all the way around and all the way down again. So that's the way it goes. And we're using 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. Now, if you remember on the flap side, I did say we should mark the half an inch line all the way around, and I did that because I need to know where I needed to place my magnetic snap. So part of my flap is already sort of marked out, and the rest of it, which is all of down here, hasn't really been marked out, but I should be able to figure out where the half an inch is on this side of the bag. So we're going to go to our machine. If your machine has got a free arm, then it's great. All you do is you just place your bag in and then you sew all the way around. If your machine does not have a free arm, you can still do it. And the way to do that would be, I'm trying to see where to start from, where it's going to be convenient for me to start from. You can still sew it with from the inside of the bag out like that, all the way around. So you do have the option of either using the free arm if you've got one, and if you don't, place your sewing from the inside of the bag. So as you can see, starting and then just going all the way around the bag. My machine is already marked. I've already put a mark on where the half an inch is anyway, so I just follow the line that's already there. But if you don't have it marked or anything, you might want to draw the line all the way around, and whichever works easiest for you. And once that has been done, we're just going to sew all the way around the front, up the flap and down the other side of the flap to join where we started from. So I hope that makes sense. Seriously. Okay. And go nice and slowly, no rush, as in we're really at the end of it. And if we've done a really wonderful job so far, we don't want to sort of spoil it at this stage. Famous last words. To try and make sure that you keep to the curves and the tiny little nicks and stuff in the bag, that's in the bag design as you go, as you sew round. So try as much as possible to sort of catch all those. And this is where my tweezers come in handy all the time. Then onto the flap. Like I said, the line is already drawn on for the flap, so I'm just following the line on the flap to get that done. So if you did the magnetic clasp like I did, when you need to sew down that, go nice and slow because your foot might have to go over the clasp just to get across. So bear that in mind when you're sewing, and try go nice and slow right across there. It's not going to touch it in any way, shape, or form, but you just want to make sure that it's gliding over. Yep, it's gone right over it, so that's great. I like it when you're sewing this a straight stretch and all you have to do is just wheeze down. It's like, yes. Okay. Hi, Trudy. Hi, Sharon. Trudy says she's late as usual. That's why I'm laughing. Hi, Nova. All late comers are going to be fined. So I haven't used my free arm. I've just sort of like placed the bag right on the bed, on the sewing bed, and I've just sewed around that. Normally, I would always use my free arm, but for this one, I just thought if there's anybody out there that does not have a free arm, you can actually still get it done, and that's the way to do it. So it's gone all the way around, as you can see there. Sewn all the way round, 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 round. And now what we need to do is, now you can't trim off any excess to reduce the bulk all the way around, but what I tend to do is I turn it round first, see what it looks like. If I like it, then I leave it. If not, I can go back, turn it back the wrong way, and trim off any excess I need to trim off. So just to see what it looks like. And remember that zipper pocket bit that we left open, and our zip that we left open as well, that I said we had to leave open. We're now going to bring every single thing out of there. And I'm not liking this bit at all. So if you reinforced your zipper pocket edges when we unstitched it, then you should be fine. Now where's the zipper pocket again? So just going back in to make sure that all the nooks and crannies are actually pushed out properly. And the flap as well. Make sure you push out your flap really, really, really well. I'm looking for my crochet needle and I know it's there because I've seen it. There you are. Sometimes I use a pencil as well, as in, the butt of a pencil or something. I just use whatever's at hand, but oh, there's the pencil. So the reason why we need to make sure that we get rid of any excess is because of places like that, because we want it to be nice and sharp and crisp. So that I can still fix, but I just want to know what it looks like. I'm always very impatient when it comes to, when I make things, I really, really want to see what it looks like. And yeah, and because of edges like that as well, so I would still go back in and that will need to come out as well. So first impressions, not bad, but I'll go back in and I will go snip all the corners and everything and then come back out again. Yep. So now we grab our scissors. We had a problem there and we had problems down there and we had problems there as well. So I know exactly where it is I need to snip off. So we reduce the bulk. And you're just cutting in within the seam allowance that we've already done. And make sure you don't cut into your stitches, please, because we don't want to have to start all over again. or having to mend. Okay, and then on this side as well, get some of the bulk down. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So I remember there in the corners and at the top, it looked too bulky for my liking. And then we try again. And this time that corner is plain bow, so don't think we need to top stitch. Okay, so make sure that you push out all the corners, all the tiny nooks and crannies of the bag. Stick your hand in there and use your crochet hook if you want to, or a pencil, or anything you normally use that you're accustomed to using to sort of push out all the corners. And as you can see, those edges are looking a lot better than it did before, because I've sort of like clipped them and reduced the seam allowance, and the top there as well is looking a lot better than it did when I turned it out initially. And with a nice good press, it's going to sort of sit nicely and lovely. And the last thing we have to do is remember that zipper pocket where we turned every single thing out. There, we now have to stitch it shut. So stick your hand in, push out all the edges as well. Nice, make sure it's nice and properly done. Nobody will see it anyway, but it's nice to do a nice proper job. And you can clip the edges just to make it nice and crisp as well. And once you've done that, fold in the seam allowance you need and you can either zigzag across to close it or just use a straight stitch 1/8 of an inch to close the gap. And I shall be using a regular 1/8 of an inch to close the gap. Snip of any excess thread you don't want. Push the pocket piece right back inside. Zip shut. And like I said, proper pressing and everything, all of that is going to lay nice and flat. So, and just like that, your bag is more or less done. Now, if you've used any other type of clasp, which you've already applied, then it should be done and dusted. But if you haven't, then and you're using the half moon clasp, you need screwdrivers, a tiny one, and what you need to do is you need to insert the flap, that bit. So just imagine that my magnetic clasp is not there. So just use a tiny screwdriver to tease the half moon clasp right over the top there, and make sure that it is nicely aligned. And you can dab a bit of fabric glue onto the holes when you've sort of like put all your screws into it and every single thing. Just sort of add some fabric glue to it to sort of glue it back together, and that should hold it in place. So, and yeah, and that should do it. If you need further explanation on the moon clasp, just let me know. But the moon shaped should be on your outer fabric there, and the other side of it should be on the other side. So make sure that this bit of the fabric fits in between both of them. It fits in between the moon clasp. So this goes in between it, and then it comes with screws. Add a little bit of glue and then screw the screws in, and that should finish off the bag for you. So that is the Squiffy Sling. Nicely done, small size. And I would love to see all your pictures. I would love to see what you've done. I would like to see what you've made. And if anybody has any questions, if anybody's still having any issues, please, please, please let me know. I know I had to be very careful cutting. Lizzie's saying be careful where you cut. I was really scared for a second, I would lie, but then yeah, I was really very careful. And thank you, Belle. So that's it. Nice, cute, small. And I think next month Monica will be doing she'll be sewing the Squiffy sling as well, but she will be sort of hacking the pattern. So if you would like to see that as well, Monica will be on with us next month to show us how to do that. And while we're at it, I just want to show you some of the other things that Mrs. H patterns. So that is my version of the Dainty Day Tripper in African wax fabric. That is the convertible bag, also in African fabric. So we do have lots and lots of patterns. That is another one, which is the duffel backpack, which is another Mrs. H pattern out there. Then the book backpack, and this is one of my favorites because it just has oodles and oodles of pockets, and you can carry it as a regular bag, you can carry it as a backpack, and you can carry it as a crossbody as well. It's got hidden pockets everywhere, and it's just brilliant. And these are all the ones I've made so far. And last but not the least of what I've made is the machine bag, which was what I did a sew along on last month. So that one too is also there. So we do have lots and lots of different patterns, and these are the ones I've braved so far. And next month, all other things being equal, I will be making the Hope bag. So please feel free to join us and have some more fun making bag. The Hope does not really have any hardware. So it's just going to be whatever fabric we want to use and just putting it all together. That will be for next month. And thank you, Lizzie. Lizzie's meant to be doing something else, but she's watching me and not doing her work. But that's fine. I'm happy to have you here with me. So, oh, is it the Hope handbag hacked with Monica? Oops, sorry. So Monica and I will make the Hope, but at different times. I will make it the regular way, as the pattern says, as close enough as the pattern says, and Monica will hack it. So that's coming up again next month. So thank you, everybody. Hi, Mandy. How are you? Oh, there was a question up there. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, Leonetta. Yes, you can, Leo. You can actually. I could just actually have waited until the very end, but since I didn't know how it was going to finish, and like I said, that's the first time I'm making the bag, so I just have the pattern. I've had the pattern for ages, but trust me, I never plan anything before so long. I just come in and I do it with everybody. So I could, next time I'm going to make it, I will not sort of do some things beforehand. I'll just wait until the very end and add all my sort of clasps and everything on, because I know it's possible to do it. But when I was reading the pattern, I wasn't sure if it was possible to do that. So, like I said, we all learn, we're all learning at the same time. And so that is great. Let me see if there's any other. Thank you, Mandy. Mandy says I'm looking great. Thank you, Mandy. I am tired, but I'm fine. Thank you. So that's the end of our sew along today, and I've really, really enjoyed being with you all. And congrats again, Leo, for winning the draw. And your fabrics, I've already shown it out to every single person at the beginning, and they're really lovely. I wish I could keep them, but they have to go. So I'll send that out to you first thing on Monday. So thank you, everybody. It's been fun. And Lizzie's saying that Mrs. H, she's making the city tote, I think, next week, and she's sort of like doing a trial run before next week. I'm not sure if any other member of the team actually does that, but most of us just pick up the pattern and we go, but Mrs. H has to plan ahead. We don't. Don't tell her that though, please. So we've had a great time. I've had a great time, and I hope to see you all again next week. There are still things happening for the birthday bonanza stuff. So Join us again. Well, I think there might be some stuff this weekend, but I know Zeba is here next week. I know Samantha is here next week as well. So please join us and continue to be part of the fun. Thank you, everybody, and have a lovely weekend.